Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how to improve on Fortnite mechanically. But before we start, please make sure you leave a like and subscribe. I tried to get to 1,000 subscribers before my birthday. That would mean the world to me. But without further ado, let's get into tip number 1. Not comfortable with your keybinds. If you're not comfortable with your keybinds, you're not able to improve even if you try to master it. And I highly recommend do not copy somebody else's keybind. Just because they're good with their keybinds doesn't mean you gotta be good with them. I recommend trying to figure out your own keybinds. I will make a video about it soon, how to get the correct keybinds. For starters, try to do the ramp brush where you put a ramp roll wall and try to figure out the right keybinds for that. Moving on to tip number 2, you have to get used to those keybinds. Now that you just figure out the right keybinds, you have to get used to them by doing warm-ups, doing 90s, doing ramp brushes. But I recommend starting with ramp brushes and then going on to 90s. Then you can go to complicated stuff just to get the muscle memory down. Even if you just switch to inputs, I recommend you use your own keybinds even if you use a controller. For instance, I don't use normal keybinds on controller, I use my own keybinds. And what I do is just practice my ramp brushes and then I start with 90s. But if I'm not comfortable with any of those, I just change it. Because the last thing you want to do is want to choke a button when you're in an important fight, even in a tournament. Because if somebody's jumping your box, you don't want to press by accident the wall. If it's in your box, you want to press like a cone or a ramp. And just by getting used to that. You also have to get used to normal keybinds like pickaxes and all that stuff. That is just minor things, but you have to get used to it if you approach the enemy and try to take his wall. That's why I recommend training the keybinds you're using. Try to get used to it, and also try to change the sensitivity. That is very important as well for controller and keyboard and mouse. Because in keyboard and mouse you have to do the right aim training. I do recommend you do aim training. So this goes for everybody. Like some of my viewers don't even do training, I'm pretty sure of that, or you do a lot of training. But I do recommend you do training every day before you hop into Fortnite, just to get used to mechanics and get warmed up and placed in tournaments. Like you can't just get onto Fortnite and expect to get a 20 bomb on your first game, even if it's normal pubs or arena. Because everybody is so sweaty these days, like you have to keep up with the meta. If you do not train, you gotta fall behind and everybody's gonna be on top of you. If you want to play Fortnite for fun, then you shouldn't have clicked on this video, because this is about how improvement and how to get better. But without further ado, let's get into tip number 3. Tip number 3 is the same as tip number 2, where you have to train every day. Like if you don't train every day, you gotta miss all your shots, you gotta check buttons, you gotta check edits. You will not be able to perform on the best of your abilities. This goes for creative and real games, but I will put map codes on the screen on top about what aim trainings you should do. I recommend you would do, I would say. This is for aiming and for bowling. There's also another map where you can do everything to go blind. I will try to find that video and try to find the keybinds. Eternian made a video about it a few months ago, or like last year I think. I'm not sure, but I will put the link in the description and on screen from top. Moving on to tip number 4, you're not used to the inputs you're using. Just because I said you're not used to the inputs you're using doesn't mean you can get better on them. Even if you just switch from keyboard and mouse or vice versa, it doesn't matter. You can get better on it, but if you do not feel comfortable playing on the input you're using, I recommend changing back to your old input or just changing input in general. But that would be the last result, because the last thing you want to do is change your input device as soon as the meta change. And I recommend that you just improve on both controller and keyboard and mouse. You can do whatever you want to, but I do recommend playing keyboard and mouse for mechanical wise and controller for real games. This is just my personal preference. I am a hybrid player, so I know a little bit. I'm not a good hybrid player, since I just started on controller, but I can play on controller, so to say. So that's why I say recommend training on both inputs, not just on keyboard and mouse or just controller, because the meta changes so often. Moving on to tip number 5. Do not play with people that's better than you. The problem with Fortnite right now is there's so many kids that has a big ego and they do not admit that somebody's better than them. This goes to me as well. I am trying to improve in that part. I have to admit, people are better than me sometimes, and I'm trying to figure out the way to stop that. But like I said, people have so big, huge ego, and going on somebody versus them and they blame it on pin or frames. Even if that's the case, we play on 30 frames or like 200 pin, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't blame it on that. You should have rather think how you could play it differently. Even in creative, if you 1v1 in like the base players, you have to figure out how you could have done it a bit differently. It's okay if you play with friends just for fun, but if you want to improve, you have to try your best playing with people that's better than you. If all your friends are bots, then you can just literally go on real games like solo or solo arena and find better players there and play better play styles. Or you can just hop into Discord servers. Like I'll give a few Discord servers like eBack or any customs like that. You can also do customs, I forgot to mention, but and generally if you want to do just 1v1s, I recommend going to Discord servers that's actually popular with crack players. Just ask if you want to do 1v1, and believe me, you are going to get sat on a lot, but I recommend that you just try to figure out how you lost that fight by going to replays or asking the person you 1v1 in how you could have done better, how you could have improved, what you could have done differently. You can even go on replays to see their perspective. But if you record it, I recommend just looking what you could have done differently, going out from the side, shooting him or anything, because that's how most people improve. Even the clicks, Booga, Scope, you name it. All of those players are pros today because they're fighting people that's better than them. And you can even do wagers if you're into that, because people are extremely good in wagers. But you have to try to do your best in it. I'm just saying, if you don't want to lose money, you can go on rematch.gg's, and I'm not sponsored by them, but you can go on their website and sign up with your Epic and everything. And you can host your own game where you don't earn any money, where you just say $0, then it isn't a wager. But believe me, you will get good people there. They also host scrims and scrim ladders, I think, where you can earn money for $100 a day, I think, if you place in them. But it's $100 prize pool every day, in the afternoon at 7 to 9, I think it is in the EU. But if you want to earn money on the side to improve your skill or just improve your skill, you can do it. There's no entry fee, it's absolutely for free. You just have to sign up and try your best to win the games, and it's really not hard if you want to place for money. But if you want to place for money, you can do it. And that would be all for today's video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on. Remember, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before my birthday, and it would mean the world to me if you can just subscribe and like the video. Thank you for watching this video, and enjoy the rest of your day.